Kevin, please pack your knives and go.
Thank you, guys.
She's the host of Top Chef, Bravo's long-running cooking competition show. But there is so much more to her story. Faith Salie is in conversation with the remarkable Padma Lakshmi.
This is a beautiful time at the market because you have all of your beautiful summer vegetables and fruits.
There's so much color. Are those all tomatoes?
They're all tomatoes. Come here.
Here's a tip when visiting a farmer's market with Padma Lakshmi.
What would you use that for?
I wouldn't use these.
Okay.
Follow her lead
I love these guys. I love frying them.
and learn along the way.
These are my taki. These are great. I would just drizzle these with a lot of olive oil.
When Lakshmi talks food, take note.
I will look at what's here and I will make up a recipe based on, what I find.
After all, she's the host, judge, and an executive producer of the hit Bravo show Top Chef.
Lisa, please pack your knives and go.
And she highlights immigrant culture and cuisine in Hulu's Taste the Nation.
This is my first rodent.
What does it taste like to you?
Tastes like chicken.
She's also an author, activist, and UN Goodwill Ambassador. You could say Lakshmi has a lot on her plate.
I feel like I'm just finally hitting my stride, and of course it takes a while to fully cook as a person and to figure out who you are.
And to know who Padma Lakshmi is, it's important to know where she came from and how much she's overcome.
In my life, I've had a lot of happen,
If people don't know your story, they might look at you and think you lead a charmed life.
I hope I do now. I would like to.
Before bestseller lists, Emmy nominations, and magazine covers spiced up her life, Lakshmi's roots were humble.
You didn't grow up with a lot of privilege.
No, I didn't. I was born in India, and my mother divorced my father when I was 2. She came to America, and I joined her when I was 4. I came here on Halloween night, and I thought, America, this beautiful land of plenty where all you have to do is dress up in a funny costume and they give you candy. Not even like money, candy.
After her arrival in America, Lakshmi found joy and wonder in the melting pot of New York City. It would not last. At 7 years old, her life was forever changed.
It happened with a relative of my mother's second husband, and I was sexually molested, and I was sent back to India for 1.5 years. I will say in my mother's defense, she did the best she could to get me out of there as soon as possible, and that was the quickest way to do that. In retrospect, I'm sure she would not make that decision.
Lakshmi returned to America and attended high school in Los Angeles. She also had a part-time job at a mall.
And you met a young man there.
Yes.
And what happened?
We were dating, and, one night, I was only allowed to stay out so late because it was New Year's, and I was 16, and, I was sexually assaulted. He raped me.
Lakshmi kept this secret for more than 30 years, until she penned an op-ed for the New York Times in 2018.
When somebody robs you of your innocence, whether it's at 7 or 16 or whatever, when you don't have dominion over your own body, it leaves you with a lifelong anxiety that always lingers in some form. And that, to me, is the greatest crime of sexual assault.
There would be more trauma for the then teenage Lakshmi when she was seriously injured in a car accident.
I fractured my hip and I broke my arm, my right arm, and my metacarpal here.
You have a scar.
I do. I have a big scar.
Surprisingly, that 7-inch wound would help launch her modeling career.
I hated it, but then I was, shot by a very great photographer named Helmut Newton, and he liked the scar. I think that your flaws and your scars really make you who you are.
Photo shoots led to acting roles.
Are there any provisions? I'm hungry.
But it was her culinary passion that really put her on the map when she joined Top Chef.
What did you think?
Thought it was a little sweet.
A little?
The show just wrapped its 18th season.
Eric, I loved your concept. I had the biggest problem with your food.
What makes it so successful?
It's very compelling to see someone strive to be the best at what they do for a living, no matter what it is. And so you don't have to be professional to have really deep, fully formed opinions about food.
Lakshmi's made a name for herself professionally, but her personal life has also made headlines. In 2004, she married one of the most famous authors in the world, Salman Rushdie. They divorced 3 years later. In her memoir, she said Rushdie called her a, quote, bad investment.
I wish him well. I care about him, and I really don't want to say anything more about him.
What she will talk about is a painful condition she and millions of women suffer from, endometriosis, a disease where tissue grows outside the uterus and can lead to infertility.
Because of my experience with endometriosis, once I got the care that I needed, then I started tasting life for a normal woman who doesn't suffer with chronic pain.
She's co-founder of the Endometriosis Foundation of America. When not championing a cause or working, she's with her daughter, Krishna. The single mother co-parents her 11-year-old with Krishna's father, Adam Dell.
I always knew I wanted to be a mom. I didn't know I would have this much fun. I'm very lucky.
Given the endometriosis, was it fair to say that Krishna is a miracle?
Definitely. I call her a miracle. I mean, literally, I don't know how it happened. I have like some tinfoil and rabbit ears holding it all together in here. I'm not even kidding.
That miracle and that mother-daughter bond helped inspire her new children's book, Tomatoes for Neela.
Krishna grew up in this farmer's market. Tomatoes for Neela takes place here.
The book comes out this week, just in time for Lakshmi's 51st birthday.
Have you ever had a Coca-Cola cake?
No.
I surprised her with a cake I made. No pressure.
I'm kind of nervous.
It's sweet and creamy and has a lot of give.
A sweet review from Padma Lakshmi, a woman who's turned pain into power and strives to empower others.
I am an open book. I have lived the life I've lived because there's nothing that I have to hide. And I would like young women to know that even if you have a late start or even if you've been through stuff, it's okay. Sometimes you just have to get up and dust yourself off and keep walking.